Did you make the same study in the United States?
Yes, I have. In other words, there is a gap between EU and United States in information productivity, and it's quite significant. And I measure the gap as a ratio in terms of either number of firms as a ratio, and then I do also a revenue-weighted ratio. The specific on a number of firms. This is out of a population of 1,966 firms. 62% have negative productivity in the information sector. When it is dollar weighted, and I use dollars, not EU, because of the Brits, EU is 53% negative, which means that you have a substantial opportunity for improvement.
How do they define productivity in this case? Because that varies a lot in both sides.
No. The productivity is defined in a standard way by Paul Strassman.
There are many standards.
I published several books on the subject. You can read about it on my webpage. But I have dealt with the subject of productivity of the information sector of the economy. Information productivity is the economic value added. In other words, it's not profit. Profit includes return on capital. Basically, Strassman is taking the position that capital is a commodity. I've taken a totally counter-Marxist view about factors of production. And what I have done is land, labor, and capital, they are commodities. And the only thing that differentiates firms is knowledge capital. And therefore you pay rent for capital. This is a very profound departure from conventional economics that you are taught at school. Because at school, you're still being taught the old concept of economics that the factors of production are land, labor, and capital. And Strassman says, no, the factors of production are land, labor, capital, and knowledge or information. And the only one that is not a commodity is knowledge. And therefore, you can then compute the productivity of knowledge capital. I think you really ought to do so. You are going to be working in this field. You really ought to look at the fundamental issue of measurement. Because until you can measure, you cannot really say how you improve. Did I confuse something?
No, not enough.
What else can I do for you?
Well, maybe we can ask next question, but I have more questions on the line.
And by the way, most of this junk is on my webpage. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds. There's actually a book on information productivity. There are tables. The Butler Group has actually published reports on productivity of EU companies. I mean, everything.
You mentioned the Butler Group. You're starting off next Friday Information Economics Journal.
Yes. I'm on the editorial board, and I have a lead article in the Information Economics Journal, and you will be seeing in the new journal, the Journal of Information Economics. I'm on the editorial board, and I will do 4 articles.
A year.
What?
A year.
A year. It's a quarterly. That will deal with EU metrics and measurements in economics. Well, influence is measured in terms of market share and brand name and other things. It turns out that when you are using economic analysis, the market share translates itself into extraordinary returns on knowledge capital. So I can take the Microsoft case, which is a monopoly case, and I can compute their knowledge capital, which I have done by the way. And so it fits the equation. By the way, I've done the same thing for pharmaceutical companies. I basically calculate knowledge capital per capita. And that is a very, very rich set of calculations that should be of great help to you. I mean, when you guys start publishing in your respective journals rankings of companies by productivity and knowledge capital, I mean, you are just going to blow the socks of everybody. Don't do psychology, okay, Rachel? I mean, remember that. But Rachel, you're absolutely right in your observation. The CIO to survive is to move. You heard my talk this morning. You know, this is a CFO recession. This is not a technology recession. They have to really get into in other words, the money is under the custody of the CFO. If you want money, you have to start acting like the CFO because, you know the term golden rule? Did you hear the term golden? Well, he who holds the gold rules. And the CIO doesn't hold the gold. The CFO holds the gold. And so you have to fit those rules, and that means the CIO, your readers, have to start transforming their planning processes to reflect the realities of financial planning and financial budgeting.